The man saw something strange while hunting. He was aiming at a deer, but when he pulled the trigger, he ended up killing a young boy. Jeff was too shocked to say a word. He quickly ran over to check the situation. Sure enough, a child was lying in the grass. He knelt down trying to wake the boy, but the boy had already stopped breathing. Jeff collapsed to the ground, not knowing how to deal with this. Just then, the boy's father rushed over after hearing the noise.
Sonny! Sonny!
The old father fell into grief, and seeing the culprit in front of him, he bravely picked up his weapon. Jeff was already in a panic. After all, his mistake could not be undone. He tried to explain it was not on purpose, but the man had no mood to listen. Just when Jeff thought he was going to be beaten to death, the man's body was suddenly struck. It was Jeff's friend Dick who had arrived. He had seen everything from the side, and to protect his friend he took the man down. But the series of tragedies that happened completely broke Jeff inside. They had just come to hunt. Who could have thought so much would happen? But in contrast, Dick was unusually calm. He hid the two bodies in the grass. Seeing Jeff frozen in place, he quickly dragged him to leave, but no one would have thought an even bigger tragedy was coming. On the way they stayed silent, and Jeff sitting in the passenger seat looked terrified. But what he could not understand was that Dick actually stopped the car and planned to keep hunting. Jeff could not help asking when he saw that. That was when Dick told him why. If they just ran away, it would directly confirm their guilt. Better to pretend they were never at the scene from the start.
Can you handle prison meat? Because I don't think I can. And we are in the middle of fucking nowhere. In hundreds of miles of forest.
Now it seemed they could not just leave. At least they needed to stay here for a day, then return at night to deal with the scene. And to make the act more convincing, they went to a nearby store, chatted with the clerk on purpose, and casually mentioned they were hunting here. When it got dark, they went back to the motel. When the owner asked if they caught anything, they said they wasted the whole day, didn't see any game. Then they went to a restaurant, pretending to be starving after a long day, and took the chance to mention that the place they hunted was not in the forest where it happened. When night came, they finally returned. Jeff dug a hole nearby, while Dick thought of something. The bullets were also key evidence. If someone found them, the consequences would be serious. Luckily, he soon found one in the tree, but the other was nowhere to be found. He turned to look at the boy, touched his head with his hand, but there was no trace of blood. At that moment, Dick understood everything. While Jeff was burying the boy's father, he went aside to get to work. Only by taking out the bullet could they be safe. But Jeff disagreed. The boy had already stopped breathing. Digging a bullet out of his head now would be the greatest disrespect. The two quickly started fighting over it.
Stay down. Stay down, mate, please.
Dick knew it had to be done, and Jeff could only hide in the car. Dick then packed all the evidence into the trunk. After cleaning everything up, they rushed back to the motel that night. Back in the room, Dick said they would leave at first light. But unexpectedly, when they woke up ready to go, they heard a noise outside. They went to look and saw the tire had been slashed on purpose. Dick realized something was wrong. He rushed downstairs to ask why.